Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another week here with me at Delta Racing League. My name is Matt McAdams. Sorry we're a little late. YouTube decided to change some things, and so we are currently using the backup ingest server. Hopefully that is going to work. But because I am running late, qualifying is already starting, so I'm going to kind of skip through most of the intro here and just get us right over into the racing. Give me 1 second here, and we should get that back over. There we are. Let's get some audio for y'all. We can hear the race cars. So tonight we're going to be at Imola. Right now we got Nathan Tanner on the screens. It's a kind of a special race for me, something we don't do at one of the other leagues I commentate for. We're going to be doing 2 races tonight, 2 30-minute sprint races. So unlike last week where the drivers were out there for an hour straight, there are just 2 shorter 30-minute races, which should lead to some interesting different styles of racing being required to get through it. The drivers will be able to push a lot harder. And it should lead to some interesting racing, especially here at Imola, a track that is known historically for being so dangerous they've had to change it multiple times. So, let's take a look around the field here. Try and get our bearings. We're going to start having some fast times coming across the line here any second. Does look like... okay, we're gonna practice this last name, man. And of course, as soon as the stream is live, it has completely left my name. But Pete here in the Porsche, going to be setting the fastest time for the moment. Tony Giordano answers that with a fast time of his own, a 1:42.86. Let's see who else is on a pretty quick lap here. Looks like most of the field's still just working on getting their tires up to temperature here. I need to work on that DRL background because you really can't see it when it is cloudy outside. I'll leave myself a note from there. Anthony Jones in the chat with the first. Again, if anybody's tuning in now, sorry we started a little bit later than expected. Had a little bit of trouble getting the stream started. Got a lot of the field all looking to improve their lap times. Let's go ahead and take a look over. The camera switched on me right when I was looking at it. Andre Alfonso here in the Bentley. Currently 1.1 seconds up on the previous best lap. Also looking very good right now is Oren Fleischhacker. 2 seconds in the Delta. Trying to get more things set up. I'm still running a little bit behind here, but Andre Alfonso, excuse me, doing an excellent job of continuing to find some time in the lap, hanging on to that Delta. Oren Fleischhacker now 2.5 seconds almost in the Delta, as near as makes no difference. We'll get him pulled up over here on the air. There we go. That's going to be Oren Fleischhacker up there in the picture-in-picture, actually, following... He's actually going to be defending against Andre Alfonso here, who is the Bentley that is catching up to him right now. Let's get a look at the onboard of our friend here in the Bentley. Let's see what he's looking at. Open up that camera a little bit so we can get a good look at both of them. A little bit of a qualifying race here. We'll see right now they must have fairly similar pace, but Andre Alfonso going to set a 1 second improvement on the lap time. Oren Fleischhacker looking at a 2.5 second lap time improvement, which is going to move him from 14th up into 11th, and then Andre Alfonso up into 8th place. Let's go ahead. It's noisy in here, so let's go ahead and hop back out on the TV cameras. Go ahead and put that away for now. Got a car off track there. Looks like a McLaren overcooks it a little bit there into that corner there. Let's take a look over at, oh, I'm going to try it. It's Pete Ruotsalainen. Oh, that was close. That wasn't it, but that was close. Currently a half second in the Delta, is going to be chasing after session best, and absolutely has the pace to do it. A half second improvement, if they can hang on to this lap time, will be 0.2 faster than the current lap holder at a 1:42.8. That's going to be Tony Giordano. Coming around the final corner now, it does look like he might just barely squeeze it out. He does. Sneaks it in there with a little less of an improvement than he was looking at previously, but it is going to be a 1:42.152. Just a little bit faster than Tony Giordano, but enough to get him in provisional pole. Because it is a sprint race, it's going to be a slightly different qualifying session tonight. It's going to be two 7.5-minute qualifying sessions. So as we saw, the 10-minute qualifying sessions at Zolder last weekend, it is going to be shorter than that right now. So any second, we will have the BMW class leaving pit lane to begin their qualifying session as the last of the GT3s are finishing up theirs. Juan Paredo is going to be on the camera for you right now. Currently 0.2 improvement in the Delta. There's another McLaren off the track there, just getting out of Juan's way. Just 2 turns to go here for his last qualifying run. Not looking as great as I'm sure he wanted it to. We have lost that Delta gain, and sure enough, he is just going to pull it over and yield a position to the BMWs that are going to be making their way out onto the track. Sam Snelltrain coming around Aqua Minerale now. Start to get a good idea of what the M2 times are going to look like. Sam Snelltrain tends to be a pretty quick driver. And all of a sudden, I feel like there's nothing... I've gone from being deafened to not being able to hear very much. It is crazy how much quieter these M2s are. Let's see. We've also got another pack of BMWs back here. We're going to go ahead and keep an eye on Jeff Fleischman, leading it off in one of the Apollo Racing Club mods liveries. Which is, I don't know that I can call it a sister league. I'm not the one in the position to call it, but we share a lot of drivers and now commentators. Coming around that final corner, that looks like, who is that right behind him? The number 6 car, is that what I'm seeing? Well, in any event, Jeff Fleischman about to cross the line. Is that going to be starting the first hot lap? It looks like it's going to. Nobody's setting any times now, so now is where things are going to start getting a little spicy. Drivers will have gotten, hopefully, their tires up to temperature by now, and now this is the lap that counts for the time. Jeff Fleischman coming into the first corner. Nice kiss of the apex there. Good answer on next exit there. Looking very, very tight. Very curious who that is he's getting chased down by. I'm trying to get a car number. 98. 98 car. That's going to be Nicolas Sosa behind him. And seeing how close these two are, I think we're going to do it again. Except we're going to do it a little backwards. We're going to get Nicolas Sosa on board, who is currently yielding a position, never mind, as I look away. Jeff Fleischman still continuing on his lap. It's an excellent turn there. Now down into Aqua Minerale. Ooh, runs it a little bit wide, but really just using all the track there. I believe that is still a valid lap time. Although the Delta's not looking fantastic, if I'm being completely honest. Although that just might be the first time being kind of silly. Bootsy hopping in the chat. Awesome stream. Hopping to join next race. We'd love to have you. Delta Racing League does kind of pride itself in being a beginner-friendly league. I can attest this is one of the first leagues. I actually believe this is the league I started my sim racing career in. Yeah, they were beginner friendly if they let me on the track. So go ahead and join the Discord, get signed up, start driving with us. Jeff Fleischman gonna set his lap time here. Let's see how the field is gonna start looking. Oh, why are my splits not working? Okay, he comes across the line. That's gonna be a 1. Wait, what is going on with my timing? Good Lord. 2028, there we go. Now it's updating. Everything's falling apart. Jeff Spangler on stream now. Oh man, have I been saying Jeff Spangler instead of Jeff Fleischman this whole time? Man, even when I know the last names, I can't get them right. Nonetheless, right now, Jeff Spangler on the camera, currently sitting best in class with a 158.4. Closest lap time is going to be Sam Snelltrain with a 159.5. But speaking of Snelltrain, his teammate, currently 6/10 in the Delta, which would get him pretty close to Jeff Spangler's time. We'll see if he continues to improve. Coming down into Aqua Minerale, almost always a lot of time that can be found here. Very much a bravery check. But that is about a picture-perfect line through there. Gets the exit 2, straightens it out, now up into the chicane. still at 7/10 in the Delta. 8/10, 9/10 now, but does invalidate on that inside curb there. Is going to have to take another run at it. Nicholas Armijo here. I believe that's how you pronounce that last name. Number 283, BMW, coming into the chicane now. 1.1 seconds in the Delta. Certainly a huge improvement from the last lap. Loses a little bit of it there and is bleeding it away down the turn here. Got 2 corners left at Imola here. Let's see what he can do with it. Finds a little bit of time under braking. Let's see, he's going to hang on to it coming into the final corner here. Looking pretty good. Let's see if he continues to gain time on the exit. Looks like he's pretty much going to hold it there, but a 9/10 improvement is going to be big for him. Not quite enough, I think, for a position change, but we'll be getting him closer to Ross Sparrow in 23rd. Yep, and sets an improvement here with 2 minutes, 0 seconds, and 1/10 in the Delta. Just 2/10 needed in order to gain a position. Ryan Garrity also looking to post an improvement here, coming around the final 2 corners here. 1 second, 1.1 seconds in the Delta. He's going to continue to find a little bit of time in the exit. Can he get to 1.3? He will for the 1.3 second improvement, and that is going to move him up several positions. Currently sitting P30, moves him up into P26. Sam Snelltrain also looking to improve his lap time, going for a pass in qualifying. Still manages to continue to find time. 1.1 seconds was at 0.8 at the entrance of Aqua Minerale there. Loses a little bit of time on exit. Probably going to find some more here in the chicane. And this would be a mammoth time. We'll move him up into second place decidedly. Maybe enough. No, it'll get him within... I think it'll get him within a pretty close to first place. We'll see where he comes around. 2 corners to go. We've also got Ben Burchett with a half second in the Delta. We'll flip the camera over there in just a second. Got some team cheerleading going on in the chat. Welcome. Sam Snelltrain going to come across the line with a final second here. And does post an improvement. Is going to set a 158.28. Just barely a 10th slower than his teammate Jeff Spangler. But Team Beans is going to be feeling pretty strong right about now. Ross Sparrow coming across the line with a 4/10 improvement. It's going to be enough for some positions gained here. Going to move him up into 5th place. Ben Burchett just has 2/10 in the Delta. Not going to be enough to answer to get that position back, but going to post an improvement on the lap time from a 158.9 down to a 158.5. I'm Not Jimmy coming up into the chicane. Couple of BMWs out in front of him as well. Going to be the last few here to set qualifying laps here at Imola for this race weekend. WRT rules. Yep, getting some shout outs in the chat. How's the chat doing? How's everybody doing? Anthony Jones, is that pitch? Not the one on screen, but he was out there qualifying. Didn't see too much of him. Didn't set a time, it doesn't look like. In fact, there are a couple of the BMW M2 drivers that did not set lap times. But that is going to be qualifying here at Imola. I'm gonna go ahead and say big congratulations to Pete Ruotsalainen for the session best time. Tony Giordano is going to sit in 2nd place. Javier Marquez secures 3rd. Let's clean this up a little bit there. Hop over to... I'm getting control of my cameras here, folks. We've almost got everything sorted out. We'll hop to the Helicam here for just a little bit. And it looks like, okay, so in the mixed class, so the BMW M2s, we've got Jeff Spangler with 1st place, Sam Snelltrain in 2nd, and Nicholas Sosa in 3rd. They're going to be each of their respective classes starting grid leaders. Let's go ahead, and we're going to do something I tried to do last time and kind of butchered because my controls were acting up. Let's go ahead and do a walk of the grid here. Take a look at these liveries, folks. There we are. Let's get the motion sickness out early. But Delta Racing League is kind enough to accommodate fully custom liveries here. The drivers have done all of this artwork themselves, at least most of them have. Not very many of them using the in-game, choosing to spare some time from their practice to make their cars look pretty, reflect the sponsors they want to, make their team have a little bit more character out here. Just goes to show just how much love these drivers really do have for the sport they're participating in, going so far as to spend hours making these custom liveries. I've done a couple of myself. I now ask friends who are better at it to do it for me because it really does take a lot of time. Got some GT3s back here at the back of the pack. Got a Porsche and a McLaren that are going to be starting behind the BMWs. Not where they want to be, I am sure. About a minute and 20 seconds left before we start our parade lap here at Imola. Any predictions in the chat? Any team members or supporters in the chat? Go ahead, hype your boys up. They're getting ready to race. Just a minute left. Going to be making any last-minute changes that may have been needed during qualifying that the drivers had noticed during the race. Are going to be making those changes now, 30 seconds before they're allowed to lower them off of the jacks and get ready for this race. Just take a look at that grid, folks. Beautiful game that we get to play here. It's interesting. I recently got to go down to see a race down at Laguna Seca. I got a chance to talk about that a little bit during the last stream, but just on the note of how remarkable this game looks, I got the chance to go down there and take a whole lot of pictures with my DSLR, and I'm learning and trying to get a little bit better. But it was interesting. The most frequent comment I got was, "Are those of your game or of those from real life?" Which was not necessarily a shot at my photography, more praise of just how beautiful this game looks. 11 seconds to go until we start here. Got keep an eye on Juan Paredo, the greatest. Was having had a little bit of a rough time in qualifying, but still manages to secure 4th place. Definitely a strong starting position. We are going to start the parade lap here. Pete Ruotsalainen. Ruotsalainen. I'm really trying, man. I listened to that, how to pronounce your name, for like a good 10 minutes straight. It's going to take a couple of weeks. But there's a reminder to everybody in chat. If you hear me butchering your favorite driver's name, find me in Discord, call me out by name, at me if you have to. I like to try and get your names right. So if I mess it up, butcher it, call me out either in chat here or in Discord. I'll do my best to try and get your last names right. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. There we go. Open up the cameras a little bit more. Look at the middle of the grid. Look at all of those cars, folks. See a bunch of Ferraris, a lot of McLarens. A lot of McLarens in the mix. A couple of Audis in there as well. I don't care who's driving it. I'm going to be rooting for the Ferrari if they're battling with anybody. Since he was called out in chat, let's go ahead and take a look over at Juan Paredo's car. The number 6 McLaren. We'll certainly be seeing more of that during the stream. Wiggling the steering wheel, trying to get as much temperature into those tires before this race starts. Try and get the picture-in-picture cam queued up and ready to go. Bootsy rooting for the Audis. Very, very quick car when it is in the hands of a driver that is not me. That's all I have to say about the Audi. So we are going to go ahead and get the picture-in-picture here. We're going to be having the we're going to have the Helicam follow the start of the race in the M2s, and we'll have the TV cameras up here watching the front of the pack and get this race started. And then, in case anybody's wondering what that little yellow speaker down at the bottom left-hand side of the screen is, just as a reflection that I do listen to suggestions, and if you have any, please send them to me. I got a little bit of criticism that it was kind of tough to hear really anything that was going, because whenever I had the picture-in-picture up, it pretty much drowned out everything we were listening to. But thanks to the suggestion of a viewer, I have switched it so that I can toggle the focus, and we can listen to one or the other, or I can balance them with the mixer if I really want to. That's what that little icon is for. So that way, hopefully, things don't sound too deafened or drowned out. But we're gonna go ahead and switch back to the TV cameras. We are about to get this race started, folks, here at Imola. 2 30-minute sprints. This is race 1, and we're gonna get it started. And any second now, that green flag will wave, and this sprint will be on. Good luck, final good luck to the drivers. Thank you to everybody in chat who's tuning in to watch this week at Imola. Glad to have you here, and we're gonna get this race started any second, folks.
Green light. Go, go, go.
There is the green light, and we are going to start the charge down into the first corner. It is going to get hairy here, folks, because it is a very, very heavy braking zone. We go from one of the fastest straights in the track down to one of the slower S's here, and the drivers are going to go in double file. So far up at the front of the pack, keeping things relatively clean. Looking through the helicam here, the M2 is keeping things nice and clean. As I say that, a red BMW is seen going off the track to the left. I'm sure there was some collision there. Got a McLaren, or excuse me, that's a Honda off the track over on the main camera there, but looks like the race leaders are starting to make their way away from the pack. Let's go ahead and move the cameras back just a little bit so we can keep an eye on the action here. Ferrari getting a little bit close to that Audi on the inside there. Nope, that's not an Audi. I can't tell my cars apart. Don't mind me, folks, but still fighting tooth and nail for every position they can gain, going too wide through most of these corners as we charge up the straight into a very sketchy, fast left-hander over the hill. Keeping things nice and tidy, it looks like. Alex Ishii on stream right now. Rocking a Ray-Bans livery in the Ferrari. You love to see that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the battle for second here. Juan Pareto was under fire there from Javier Marquez just behind him. Getting very, very close, those two. Race leader for the BMWs, Jeff Spangler, hanging on to it. His teammate, Sam Snelltrain, right on his bumper. Let's actually, all right, do I have that mixed up? I have that mixed up. That is actually Sam Snelltrain out in front, chasing down his teammate. Or being chased down by his teammate, Jeff Spangler. Go ahead and just watch that onboard for a little bit, but we've got another very close battle still for second. Juan Pareto is going to be fending off Javier Marquez, doing a good job of it so far. New fastest lap going to come across the line, and I have the wrong. Let's get the race gaps up there so you folks can see who is how close to who. Jeff Spangler still trying to get past his teammate. We see a Porsche making his way around the outside there. Reminder, this is a mixed class race, so we're going to be seeing a lot of passing going on here. Let's go ahead and open this back up over on this side here. Just maybe. There we go. The game decided to listen. But we got several close battles here in the BMW class here. Ross Sparrow getting chased down by Ben Burchett right behind him. Looks like the battle up front loosening up a little bit, but only for some. Does look like Andre Alfonso here under quite a bit of pressure there from the McLaren behind. That's going to be the McLaren of Matias Martinez, it looks like. Yep, sure enough, for the WRT team. Very, very tight into Aqua Minerale. McLaren giving that Bentley no room to breathe. Gets the better exit, but there's just not room to pass. Might try something coming into the chicane, but I gotta look over at this screen over here on the picture-in-picture just how close Sam Snelltrain is getting to his teammate coming around the fast left-hander now down into Aqua Minerale. Let's go ahead and get the audio focus over on them for right now because they are very, very close to one another. Let's hop on board here with Sam Snelltrain, because really it is very close between these two. He's looking up the outside there, maybe going to go for late brakes coming into the chicane. I don't think he's going to be able to make it happen, just no room there, but the BMWs really can ship it over the curbing. Another fastest lap set by Pete Routsalainen. Let's get back over here. We'll open this guy back up. There we go. Sam Snelltrain on camera. Let's take a look at one of the other battles here in the M2. Nicolas Sosa also under some pressure here. Coming a little bit of a battle for third place in class. We got a crazy pass on the outside there by the McLaren on that Aston Martin. get the audio back over here on the main camera here. A lot of caution flags getting sent out. Must have been a big accident. Not sure what's happened. Let's try and get a look over here. I'm just clicking through all the orange flags. Don't see who got spun around. No yellow flags, certainly. Maybe some passing happening there in the mixed class already, and things just got a little too hairy for the race director there, but looks like we're all out. We got a bit of a drag race now into the left-hander here. Ferrari on the inside is going to have it. That's going to be Nathan Tanner there, passing Oren Fleischacker on the inside. Now another Porsche wants a piece of him coming into Aqua Minerale. Does not look like the Porsche is going to be able to make it happen here. BMW race still pretty close between all of them. The battle for third in class with Nicolas Sosa has turned into just a two-car battle now. Ross Sparrow going to be the one providing the pressure here. Ben Burchett getting past just a little bit ago. Ooh, we got a BMW going for a pass on the inside there. Not enough room to make it happen. McLaren doing an excellent job of defending his line. Got another fastest lap, this time out of Javier Marquez. Let's go ahead and get him on camera right there. Coming into the first corner is going to snag fastest lap there, but let's go ahead and get back to the action over here. Bentley is trying to not hit that Lamborghini, is going to have to run into the gravel there. Definitely going to lose him those two positions he was fighting for there. Unfortunate luck, but got a little too crowded there in turn one. Now has his work cut out for him, trying to catch back up to that pack, put himself back in contention. For fifth place, though, Tony Giordano not letting up, going for the pass on the outside there, gets an excellent exit, is going to get turned, turns a little bit across that McLaren, it looked like from our angle. Stewart's will definitely be taking a look at that later. He is not happy about that, though, as we can see him light up the blinkers. Definitely not happy with the McLaren there. But with a very aggressive move a turn earlier, you never really know. Let's go ahead and focus the cameras back a little bit here, get Ben Burchett in the focus. He's going to be chasing down, that's going to be the M2 of Ross Sparrow now. Let's see, who else is close? See, it does look like Sam Snelltrain and his teammate Jeff Spangler still battling it out over here. I realize we got a little bit of a double shot there going on for just a second, but we'll fix that in there. Get a little bit of the BMW action. The front runners here. Let's go ahead and snap this camera back a couple of cars. We do have Benjamin Celine under a little bit of pressure. I should probably, actually no, we've got, yep, that's right. Try to keep track of my audio focus. Jeff Spangler doing an excellent job of fending off his own teammate there, Sam Snelltrain. Looks like those two are more or less going to be locked into that battle for the foreseeable future. So let's go ahead. We're going to hop up here. Oh, right as Alex Ishii is getting spun around. I saw the caution flag, thought I'd be able to get over there and see what happened, but a lot of damage to the left side of that Ferrari. We'll see how much it is going to affect their pace. But loses two positions in the fallout, unfortunately. Matias Martinez chasing down the Lamborghini we saw just a couple of corners ago. That got, who was it that got tripped up behind that? I've already forgotten. But looks like we're about to start having some blue flags getting passed. We saw the BMW out of focus there in the shot. That does mean two GT3s are about to catch up to him. But Matias Martinez for WRT makes a crazy pass up the inside of that chicane. Makes the Lamborghini look like he was standing still and does escape now in P3. Is going to have to get around a slower car there. No problem, though. So I just passed a car that was the same speed as me. Why should I have any trouble passing a car that's slower than me coming around the final corner here? The Lamborghini is going to almost catch back up to him in a couple of corners. We'll see if he's able to make the pass happen again. But that is going to be a position gain for Matias Martinez for WRT in the number 47 McLaren. Benjamin Celine up in the picture-in-picture, still trying to catch up to Ryan Yee, but we're going to take a look over here at, at Ross Sparrow, under fire from Ben Burchett again. Ben Burchett almost right on the rear bumper of that BMW in front of him. We'll get the closer camera angles just so we can keep an eye on the action. There's another look at Snell Train and Jeff Spangler fighting it out for first in class there. On the main camera, let's drop back a car. We can get a view of the action here. Javier Marquez right in the middle of it, in between the Lamborghini of Dustin Fletcher and the Aston Martin of Tony Giordano, who's trying a move on the inside. Looks like Javier Marquez overcooks it a little bit into that braking zone, is going to go wide and allow that pass to happen. Lighting up Tony Giordano there, saying, hey, I'm going to take that position back. You better watch out. But does not have the room to happen or make it happen on this stretch, but still hanging on to the fastest lap of the race so far. 10 minutes in already, but the crazy thing is less than 20 minutes left. Again, it's going to be 2 shorter races tonight, so every second counts here. So these drivers really do have to be aggressive, and Tony Giordano is doing an excellent job of showing us what aggressive looks like. Late on the brakes for the inside, a little bit of contact between him and the Lamborghini, a little bit of a love tap there. But that is going to be a position gain. It looks like Javier Marquez also wants a piece of that Lamborghini. Goes for the pass on the inside. Has to jut out of the way of the BMWs there on screen, but does get around in front of the Lamborghini. Dustin Fletcher cannot be happy about how those last couple of turns went, but that is racing. Ross Sparrow still doing a good job of fending off those BMWs behind him, growing a little bit of a gap to Ben Burchett, not quite able to close it up. Let's hop a little further back in the pack. Jeff Fleischman getting passed by a McLaren. We got McLarens and Aston Martins weaving in between BMWs here. And they're going to be doing it again here any second here. We can see just how close these cars are having to get to one another to get around each other safely. We're about to watch it on both cameras here. Jeff Fleischman going to get passed by Tony Giordano and then Javier Marquez on the inside. Looks like they're able to do it relatively safely. Lamborghini's also going to get a piece of Jeff Fleischman there on the inside. It looks like there's not a lot of super close battles. Oh, although just off camera we see Tony Giordano go for a move on that BMW. Currently sitting in P4, has a bit of a gap until he catches Matias Martinez, but doing an excellent job of moving through the field without losing any time to Javier Marquez, who currently has a better lap time by 0.2 of a second. Just trying to keep as many of the M2s up in picture as I can. Every time I see their gap getting very small, that's just because GT3s are passing them. Trying to keep the excitement on camera. Aaron Alexander is going to lose a position there, or excuse me, gain a position there on Andrew Sear. Makes a pass happen on the outside. BMW showing its legs. Going to make another pass on an M2 on the inside there. Porsche of Andrew Sears got some work to do to catch up to that BMW. Still keeping it nice and close there, coming into the S's. Eric Stein getting bullied by some GT3s now. McLaren showing him the blinkers. Not having a great corner, though. Looks like he gets kind of spooked out of it a little bit by the McLaren on the apex. Chooses to put it out on the gravel rather than cause an accident. I respect the play. Looks like things may be heating up for Andre Alfonso, now tracking down the Lamborghini of Dustin Fletcher, showing him the blinkers, letting him know he's there, as if that Bentley's not big enough to see in the rearview mirror of every car in this game. Let's check back in. Actually, what is going on here? Looks like actually an interesting pass must have happened here. Nicolas Sosa is now in front of Jeff Spangler. Maybe some unfortunate passes there with the GT3s. Not sure what happened, but Sam Snell Train can now focus on just opening up the taps. No longer has his own teammate trying to get in his head. And we can see there's Tony Giordano up in the picture-in-picture making a pass there on Sam Snell Train on the inside. And what we have here over on the picture-in-picture is actually a three-car battle for second in position, led off by Nicholas Sosa in the WRT M2, Jeff Spangler in the Beans M2, and Ross Sparrow right behind him. And not a team name on that livery, but he sure is Canadian.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
There's the halfway call, a lot sooner than we're used to hearing it. 15 minutes down, 15 minutes to go in race 1 here at Imola. And they don't need to be very long races. They have already been pretty action-packed with the mixed class here. GT3s chewing up this track way faster than the M2s can, leading to a lot of passes here. Andre Alfonso, I'm sure, happy with his performance so far, up 2 positions since the start of the race. Now wedged in between some M2s. That Lamborghini, I'm sure he is feeling like he's just gotten a huge break. Bentley gonna make a pass on the outside here. And that looks like Steve Poe right behind him, another GT3, not very far behind Alex Alfonso for Absolute Racing. Pete Rutzelainen, race leader, off doing his own thing. Does not look like he's got any company yet. I'm sure he'll be seeing some blue flag cars eventually, but that's going to be Juan Pareto right behind him. 4-second gap, but that is getting smaller. I've been watching for a little bit. He is going to be reeling him in for the WRT McLaren. Runs a little bit wide there on the exit of the S, going to cost him a couple of tenths, but going to continue his charge up to first place. Tony Giordano also doing an excellent job. Currently in P4, has a little bit of a gap growing to him to Matias Martinez in third for the other WRT McLaren. BMW's still fighting it out over in the picture-in-picture screen there. Looking, ooh, we got a BMW off the track there at the chicane, spins it around, but gets it back out on track. Just a little bit of a scare there for Matias Martinez. Dustin Fletcher still under fire from Andre Alfonso. And we can see that BMW, or the Bentley really pushing. You see back end steps out from him a little bit. He manages to get it back under control, but what was just inches is now a couple tenths of a second. Steve Poe there and Nathan Tanner chasing him down. Nathan Tanner, if I'm not mistaken, I'll come back to that. Tony Giordano sets new session fastest lap, 143.0, snagging and actually tying Javier Marquez, both of them now having set a 143.0, which is insanity. Edgardo Donoso here chasing down another McLaren that got very loose on the gravel. Manages to get it back under control, though. Edgardo, a little bit of a scare there, I'm sure, but another one of the WRT McLarens on the field. He's going to be in a drag race down into T1. Is going to stay in it, but a BMW, very unfortunate positioning for the passing McLaren there. Let's see if he can get late on the brakes and try and make something happen. It is just not going to be able to. The BMW is in the worst place possible, but Timothy is going to put the McLaren off the track and allow the pass to happen. The number 531 McLaren does manage to get back out on track without too much drama, though. Now has another one to worry about. That's going to be Glenn Pinillo in the number 58 McLaren. A lot of McLarens on the field today. But what I was saying, Nathan Tanner, if I am not mistaken, was participating in a 24-hour races of Spa within the last 24 hours. And somehow that madman is still out on this track. In fact, as I actually know for a matter of fact, there are several drivers driving tonight's races that participated in that very same 24-hour race. because they are madmen. They are absolutely insane. And I just missed the announcement there, but another fastest lap, not to be outdone, Pete Ruotsalainen sets the fastest lap, immediately taken away from Tony Giordano, who has apparently found his pace with a 142.64. And that has got to be making Matheus Martinez sweat, because he can now see Tony Giordano in the rearview mirror, and he has set back-to-back fastest laps with Pete Ruotsalainen trying to snag it back. Tony Giordano doing an excellent job in this sprint race. Pitch, Fletcher, and Tanner, all three of them have participated in the same 24-hour race. We can see just how crowded the field is in the picture-in-picture slot. That is going to be a four-car battle for first place, it looks like, because I believe that is Sam Snelltrain out in front, followed by Jeff Spangler, Ross Sparrow, and Ben Burchett, inches from one another, battling it out for first in class. In fact, we're going to get this over on the, we're going to do a little picture swap here. I don't have a good hotkey for doing this yet, but let's take a look at that battle for first here. There we go. Excuse me, battle for second. Nicolas Sosa is leading it. Sam Snelltrain getting passed on the inside. And where is he there? Where did he go? There's Tony Giordano there. We'll get him back up on the picture-in-picture. But we're going to be watching these M2s because this is crazy. Too wide through every corner here for several corners now. Sam Snelltrain has got Ross Sparrow right on his rear bumper there now into the, I don't think we call it a hairpin, but it's the corner everybody hates. That is the corner that makes or breaks laps. McLaren going to be looking for a pass here on this straight. The M2s, I don't think there is enough room for him to get all of them. Will get around Sam Snelltrain. That gap between Tony Giordano and Martinez is getting awfully close, folks. That is getting awfully close. Let's go ahead. We're going to watch from his perspective over here. Oh my goodness, actually, did we just watch the pass? I think we just watched the pass up there happen on the smaller screen. Tony Giordano does make the pass happen right when I go to the cockpit view. We miss it. Unfortunate timing on my part there. Sorry, folks. But he does make the pass and moves up into third place. Now he's going to be trying to chase down Juan Pareto with less than 10 minutes to make it happen. We'll see what he can do with that time. We've got a yellow flag on the field. Or we had a yellow flag on the field. I believe that was, let's see, accident. Number 31 car. Nope. And right there, Nate Tanner does get, I don't know if he got hit there and spun around or the Ferrari just did Ferrari things, kicked the back end out. But in the same corner I said everybody hates, and it broke his lap. Tony Giordano really trying to send it to catch up to, is that Juan Pareto? No, it is not. Looks like Matheus Martinez got the position back while I was looking at the other camera. Let's try and get the cockpit view here of Tony Giordano correctly this time. There we go. Very close to that McLaren, as we can see, trying to battle some BMW traffic there. Let's go ahead and listen to that Aston Martin. Very angry and aggressive sounding engine, but it is one of my favorites. And can confirm it is as intimidating in real life as it is in the game. You can see him giving the blinkers to Martinez there, to the McLaren in front. Might try something up the inside. He's looking. He goes late on the brakes for the pass on the inside, overcooks it into the gravel runoff. And it's going to end up farther behind that McLaren than when he started. I'm sure he is not happy about that, but you got to go for the gap now. 6 minutes, 48 seconds remaining. Not a lot of time to try and get that third place finish, but he is certainly trying his heart out now. Well, let's go ahead. We're actually going to look at the battle between Andre Alfonso now. Looked like there was a real close gap there. Was that to the Lamborghini in front? No, it was to the BMW, excuse me. He's going to go for the pass on the inside there. Martinez fighting tooth and nail for that third position finish. Be very, very good for the team because I believe Juan Pareto is a teammate. Just clicking over there so we can see it is indeed. And we can see Tony Giordano has gotten right back on the bumper of Matheus Martinez. And looking at the pace difference, not sure that I'm surprised by that. As Tony Giordano, when he's got the taps unleashed, does have the pace. Tries to get the slow pass on the outside. Not enough room to make it happen. Maybe something here in the final turn. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. But now a drag race between these two cars. Aston Martin absolutely close enough to be able to slip into the slipstream. McLaren knows it. He is steering across the track and try and break that draft. Not able to make it happen. Tony Giordano going to go for the pass now, giving him the blinkers, warning him, I'm going to try it. Now down into turn 1. Is he going to try late brakes again? He is not. Tries to get the outside line, but the McLaren in front doing an excellent job of defending the pass. Let's take a look at the battle between Ben Burchett and, is that Ross Sparrow in front of him? Yes, it is. We'll keep that on the picture-in-picture as we watch Tony Giordano try and go for another pass on the outside. As denied by the McLaren driver, but all at the same time, they are catching up to teammate Juan Pareto. And with 5 minutes, or less than 5 minutes in the race already, this could be pressure that Juan Pareto does not need to deal with right now. But at this point, I believe this is Matheus Martinez just doing everything he can to try and keep Tony Giordano off of his teammate. And is doing an excellent job in doing so, much to the frustration, I am sure, of Tony Giordano in that Aston Martin behind him. Anthony in the chat, I am reading that, by the way. Thank you very much. I was a little focused on the racing there. Where'd Tony go? Right when I look at chat, this is why I don't look at chat. What happened? Oh, we missed it. Okay, I'm gonna do something risky here. We're gonna watch the 30-second replay. We have no control over this, so a little bit loose there in Aqua Minerale. He's gonna try and he does get control of the car now, coming down into the chicane. Looks up the inside. There are some slower BMWs, but oh, it looks like he's just a little too quick into the chicane, gets spun around. Either that or the McLaren there is going to turn across him. Couldn't really see too well there from our angle, but that is going to be what we see happen there, and that is why he is so much farther behind that McLaren. And that is going to be his third place finishing hopes dashed, as now he's going to be on the defense from Javier Marquez. He's going to be chasing him down there. Let's get this BMW battle over on the main screen here. I'm trying to find him. There we go. Ben Burchett on the camera. Now we'll go ahead and throw up the cockpit view of Ben Burchett as well. We'll get a little bit of the double action here. We see the wide angle shot. We're going to see those McLarens passing him. I believe that is positions 2 and 3 passing the, or excuse me, 3 and 2, or 3 and 4. I'm sorry. These M2s not quite as close a racing, but really does require just as much effort. They are momentum cars, where these GT3s are able to accelerate out of these corners. These BMWs really cannot. They have to rely on everything that they can carry through these corners to try and catch up to one another. Ooh, and we got a little bit of contact there between the BMW of Sam Snelltrain, and I believe that was the McLaren of Javier Marquez, or not Javier Marquez, excuse me, Matheus Martinez. There goes Tony Giordano making a pass on those two BMWs. And actually, we're going to go ahead and hop forward on the cameras here and keep an eye on the two teammates. That's going to be Sam Snelltrain and Jeff Spangler. Getting very close to one another there. Oh, and Ben Burchett late on the brakes, but manages to get through there. Look, oh my goodness, let's get out to the outside camera there. Does make a little bit of contact there with the BMW of Ross Sparrow. Looks like he does give the position back. The two BMWs now, Sam Snelltrain and Jeff Spangler, now very, very close to one another. Sam Snelltrain on board there. You can see his teammate in the rear view mirror there. Just there's no room for him to pass. That's gonna be Sam Snelltrain putting the BMW right on the apex. No room for his teammate to get around him. That is a masterclass in defensive driving there, folks. Ben Burchett capitalizing on a mistake from the other BMW there he was trying to pass. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying to keep track of so many names at the same time, folks. Ross Sparrow, excuse me. Let's see if we've got quite the battle for positioning. or for position opening up between Andre Alfonso. That's going to be followed by Dustin Fletcher and Aaron Alexander there, all battling for position. We'll keep them on stream. And reminder, we do have confirmation that Dustin Fletcher was driving in a 24-hour race earlier today. That's going to be the Lamborghini there behind Andre Alfonso. And now we've got both of our cameras catching up to one another. As we watch the GT3s racing for the, or not for the lead, but for position. We got another BMW race for position there going through the chicane at the same time. BMW is going to be getting the worst of that. Just no room for him to get back on the track. Really nothing either car could do about it, but it looks like they managed to do it without hitting each other, which is surprising to me. Really more amazing. Amazing is the right word. But leader is on the final lap. Pete Ruotsalainen really in a league of his own this entire lap. That's going to be second place Juan Paredo, and third place Matías Martínez. Teammates both on the same camera at the same time there. Doing an excellent job of controlling this race. There's Tony Giordano catching up to them though. What was once a much larger gap has shrunken down for sure. He is really trying to leave it all out there on the track. It'll be very interesting to see his performance in race 2. Maybe a little better luck. Might be looking at a P1 finish. He does have the pace to do it right now, folks, with the current fastest lap being 0.3 faster than Pete Ruotsalainen out in first place. May be able to make it happen, folks. We'll see. But Dustin Fletcher here fighting it out. I got him on both cameras right now accidentally. Let's get at least different cameras there. Got Andre Alfonso on the picture-in-picture there. The Lamborghini of Dustin Fletcher in the main screen here, trying to track down that Bentley. I keep wanting to say BMW because that's what he drives in the other league I commentate for, and it is actually messing with my head. That's going to be the BMW of Aaron Alexander, trying to get back in the fight. 0.7 between him and Dustin, or excuse me, half a second between him and Dustin Fletcher. And there is Pete Ruotsalainen finishing the race. It is going to be followed by... Oh, my splits are already messed up, but Juan Paredo is going to cross the line, followed by teammate Matías Martínez there. Tony Giordano put on a hell of a fight. We'll be looking to see that in race 2. Dustin Fletcher, Andre Alfonso, and, excuse me, trying not to say quite as much, but... Aaron Alexandra, man, it's falling apart all at the end of this race. Aaron Alexander, I owe you an apology for that one. But crossing the line there in P8. Steve Poe finishing in P9. Nathan Tanner finishing in P10. After being in contention, farther up the grid, starting in P6, drops down into P10. But we'll see what he's able to do in race 2. Edgardo Donoso coming across the line right behind Oren Fleischhacker for 13 and 14, a little bit of after the race contact there, going to send the Audi into the shadow realm and then get rear-ended by Ben Burchett there. But that is going to be the end of race 1. Guess what, folks? There's a race 2. We get to watch it all over again. And now there's some rivalries to be settled here. Everybody having driven with one another now. Let's go ahead and get, Pete Ruotsalainen is going to be on the track. We'll watch Matías Martínez and his teammate Juan Paredo in second and third place finish their laps here at Imola for race 1. Let's go ahead and take a look over at the chat, see how y'all are doing. Imola is super difficult track to pass on. He had to give it his all. Yeah, I agree 100%. I think he was just pushing as hard as he could. 100% a racing incident there, but that's what happens when these drivers are pushing as hard as they can. I'm watching him in the pits right now. The pit crew making changes to the car. He is going to go out there and push as hard as he can for race 2 for sure. But let's go ahead and look at the race 1 finish here. Let me find my mouse so we can look at the timetables. There we go. That's going to be Pete Ruotsalainen, Juan Paredo, and Matías Martínez for P1, 2, and 3. Tony Giordano in P4, snagging the fastest lap. I don't know if this league gives points for it, but he would be awarded that if that was happening. Javier Marquez in P5, Alex Alfonso P6, Dustin Fletcher in P7, Aaron Alexander in P8, Stephen Poe in P9, Nathan Tanner in P10 to finish out the GT3 class. And let's see who that's going to be in the TCXs. Jeff Spangler and Ben Burchett and Ray. Ooh. Did Sam Snell Train lose positions there at the end and we missed it? That can't be right. That's what it's saying. Ben Burchett in second, then R. Sparrow and Sam Snell Train 3 and 4. Rob Jacques in P5, Nathan N. Sosa in P6, R. Garrity, B. Celine, and I'm Not Jimmy, P7, 8, and 9, and M. Armijo in P10. That is going to round out the top 10 of the other class. Don't really have a slide to put on here while we're waiting for the second race to start, or is it Quali 2? It is Quali 2, excuse me, folks. So now we have the second of the 15-minute qualifying periods here. Wasn't sure if it was like a super pole where it like hangs on or something like that. I actually don't even think I said that right, but whatever. We're gonna have another qualifying. Pete Raudsalainen wasting no time to getting out on the track. Tony Giordano is also going to be making his way out onto the track. There's the Aston Martin of Tony Giordano getting out on the track to start his qualifying session. I'm gonna take a second here and drink my tea. Got a little bit of a break in between the race. Not something I'm used to. Try and not completely kill my throat tonight. Couple of qualifiers kind of on top of one another. Let's see if we can get more than one car on camera here at the same time. Let's see who's going to be the closest. That's pretty close between all of them. It's going to be Alex Ishii on camera. Actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead. We're going to watch Pete Raudsalainen here. And then we're going to get the picture-in-picture fixed over here. 1 second, folks. Let's see if it's going to behave nicely. Pete Raudsalainen starting the lap nicely, keeping things nice and tidy. Currently 2 purple sectors. I'm sure we'll get an actual sector one time when he gets the full lap through. Ooh, that's a little wide. I don't know about that one. I don't know if that's it. We'll see. It still looks valid over on the timing board there. No, I'm not saying too much right now, folks. Kind of just capitalizing on the fact we don't have too many times in yet, but Pete Raudsalainen here going to be setting a time any second here, rounding the final corner here at Imola. And the first lap of the qualifying session here is going to be any second. There's going to be a 1:43.332 from, from Javier Marquez, actually. So that means that was invalid lap time for Pete Raudsalainen, where we saw it there. Tony Giordano answering with a fast lap of his own, 1:43.2. He's going to be looking to shave a little time off of that. I believe that was more or less what he was setting during the race, at the end of the race there, end of race 1 anyways. Sets a purple sector 1. But Javier Marquez right now with a 1/10 improvement in the Delta, currently looking to snag session fastest lap. Tony Giordano, though, still looking to improve, finds a 10th, but not enough to snag fastest from Javier Marquez, as Javier Marquez runs a little wide, but finds the time on the exit there at Aqua Minerale, now into the chicane. Still finding time, now 4/10 in the Delta. Tony Giordano, and they're just trading the purple splits right now. Right now, it still belongs to Javier Marquez. Let's get a look at both of them, because they're both putting on quite the drive right now. There's Tony Giordano. There we go. Javier Marquez still fighting for the improvement, but Tony Giordano now with a half second in the Delta, which will put him in the 142s. Pete Rautzelainen out of nowhere with a 142.7. Let's see, Tony Giordano about to cross the start-finish line. We'll see what he answers with. It is not going to be purple, though. Half-second improvement. It's going to move him pretty safely into the 142s here. Sets a 142.7, but I believe he invalidates it on the final little lip there. A bit too far on the inside is going to steal the lap time away from him. An unfortunate mistake there for Tony Giordano. Yeah, Pete Rautzelainen still trying to improve on the lap time here. Let's do a little bit of this action here. Let's take a look. Let's watch the master at his craft here. Come up over the hill into the fast left-hander. And overcooks it. That's going to be too wide. Tony Giordano back on a purple lap. Let's go ahead and take a look over at his feed here. There's on board with Tony Giordano. Let's use the better camera here. And since we're watching his car, let's go ahead and do a little And we're on board with the Aston Martin again. Still on pace for the purple lap. 3/10 in the Delta. Loses a little bit on the entrance of Aqua Minerale. Let's see if he gets it back on the exit there. Look like it. And I've got the wrong data up here. I forgot to put it back. I'm sorry, folks. There we go. Still getting used to the second qualifying. Just to set and forget. Break some habits here, but Tony Giordano doing an excellent job now into the final two corners of the track. Still hanging on to the purple split. Without any purple sectors, it's going to have to come from sector 3 here. 3/10 to the Delta around the final corner. He is hanging on to it by a thread, folks. Still 3/10 in the Delta. Is going to cross the start-finish line with what looks like the session fastest lap. Let's see what he does with it. Crosses the line. He does. Snag a 142.40. 3/10 improved on Pete Rautzelainen there. And he is going to secure that first place finish there, folks. Very well earned as well for Tony Giordano there. Yeah, the tower timings are a little messed up there. I'm not sure where second place is, but there's all sorts of madness going on as the BMWs are making their way out onto the track. Let me see if I can get somebody on camera there. There we go. Sam Snell train there. We can hide the picture-in-picture. I just realized that's been on Tony Giordano's cockpit view this whole time. Got a nice look at his rear view mirrors and the neutral gear indicator. But this is going to be another exciting qualifying session. We'll see what these two teammates do to one another on the track. Go ahead and take a drink of water here before I run out of time to do it again. And I will run out of time to do it again. Man, they are close to each other. That is just sketchy. During qualifying, no less. They're gonna leave it out on the track. A little teammate rivalry, I guess. They space out in the final corner. No fun. Keep it tight. But they're going to start their qualifying laps now. Having finished warming up their tires by now, I would hope. Ooh, another BMW leaving the pits. Potentially the worst possible time for Snell Train there. sends up the blinkers. Not going to wait for him. Those two teammates still very close to one another. And actually, we got quite the action shot over here. The perspective of Jeff Spangler here. Got a good shot of his teammate there as they are racing around that corner. The hairpin that everybody hates. Chasing him down into the fast left-hander here. Let's go ahead and actually get the better audio here because it's real quiet from the outside there. So that's going to be the audio we're listening to from inside Jeff Spangler's BMW. Sam Snelltrain out in front, playing the defense. You can see just how shifty the BMW of Sam Snelltrain is getting going over the curbing there in Aqua Minerale. Now into the chicane. We'll see how much hairier it gets here. Just me, or are they desynced by like a second? They totally are. Yeah, they 100% are. Very interesting. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm not sure what's going on there. Fortunately, I can fix one without breaking the other. Sam Snelltrain going to finish his lap. We'll see where he finishes. These two going very quick. Ooh, Jeff Spangler a little bit on the outside there. That's going to hurt his lap time. I think that is going to yield first place to Sam Snelltrain. He's going to cross the line here. That's going to be a 159. Wow, actually, those two are very close to one another. Ryan Yee with a 159.05 and Sam Snelltrain with a 159.03. Wait, what is... Oh, man, my timing tower is all kinds of messed up. It's got... what? 22 is higher than 21. Bad 20 is lower than that. Man, that is... All sorts of things are falling apart, man. Oh, man. 2 races. Breaks everything. Let me try. I'm going to try and get things fixed here, folks. Just bear with me. We're going to be watching these two here just for a little bit. Let me find somebody else who's on a good lap of theirs. Yeah, here we go. Ethan Reed. Currently, let's see here, 3/10 in the Delta, looking to improve. Ross Sparrow with 3/10 in the Delta as well. Ethan Reed losing a little bit up the hill, now into the fast left-hander. Finding even more time in the lap. Coming into the chicane here. 0.8 improvement. Going to be a big one for him if he can hang on to it. Tower times are still all kinds of messed up. What is going on right now? We'll clear it out. We'll get it reset for the next race. Because yeah, I don't want to be looking over that and see things out of order. Right now it is. I'm trying to fix one while the other one is going. Okay, so... Okay, one is fixed. Let's see if I can... Let's see what happens. I don't want to hit clear data and lose everything, but it's already out of order, so let's just go ahead and... Let's do this. I'm gonna break the overlay for just a second here. Whoop. Come on. Did it fix itself? Hey, there we go. You did it. All right, now let's get that back up there, and we're back in business, folks. Ryan Yee currently sitting at the top of the tower there for the split. Is getting chased down by Sam Snelltrain. Or excuse me, it's the other way around. Both of them looking to improve their times, though. Very close to one another. Benjamin Celine looking to post an improvement here. 0.9 in the Delta. 1 minute left in qualifying now. almost have the picture-in-picture fixed again, folks. Sorry about the delay here. Oh, we got a yellow flag from Rob Jacques, who is parked on the outside there in the final turn of the track. Lucas Clerget also putting it off the track. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ben Burchett here. 2/10, 3/10 in the Delta coming over the hill. Trying to get connected in here. Come on. And that is going to be the end of qualifying there. Let's see. Ryan Garrity still out on track with 7/10 in the Delta, coming around the final two corners now. He's going to come across the start-finish line with that improvement. 4/10 in the Delta. Loses a little bit in the final two corners, but still will be enough for an improved lap time. Going to come across the line with 2 minutes dead, 9/10. Ben Burchett, 7/10 in the Delta, coming around the second to last corner. I believe that is going to do it for our qualifying session. I don't think... Oh, no. We got a couple folks still out on the track. I'm not Jimmy. Looks like coming down the hill into the final two corners now. Still screwing with the other computer. Come on. Really love it if you'd work. I don't think it's gonna. In fact, I know it's not gonna, so let's try this. I'm Not Jimmy is going to cross the line with almost a second in the Delta, 9/10 to be exact. Going to cross the line, set a time of a 2:01.0, and that is going to be the second qualifying session concluded. And I learned my lesson not to click on that until we are well into that. So we're going to be taking a look at the chat here for just a second while I try and get the other computer sorted out. Let's see if I can clean that up yet. Drive. Heck yeah. We're gonna spare y'all the motion sickness from the track walk a second time. Oh, come on, give me my mouse back. There we go. Let's go ahead and hop on the TV camera, get a good look at that grid. Again, big ups to Tony Giordano. In fact, before we get any farther, let me go ahead and go over the finishing standings there. It's gonna be Tony Giordano in first with an excellent lap time. In fact, I can't look at it from there, so here's what we've got. Pete Ruotsalainen in second, Javier Marquez in third. And then down in the other class, that is going to be Ryan Yee starting in first place, followed by Sam Snelltrain and Jeff Spangler in second. So we got a little bit of a mixed up grid, but Tony Giordano showing up for the second race here. After a little bit of a disappointing first race, is not going to take any prisoners, qualifies with the fastest lap by a lot, and is going to try and win this, I am sure. Gio did get P1. Welcome back. Currently working on trying to fix the picture-in-picture. Not a lot to look at on stream. At least not yet. Let's go ahead and click around the Helicam view. Get a look at all these cars. Getting ready to be nighttime over here in Italy. There's my mouse. Trying to get picture-in-picture sorted out here. We're almost there. Hopefully. We'll see. Perhaps. How many synonyms can I come up with that? I gotta do something. Alright. Open. This one. And connect. Hey! Alright, we got the other one back. Good news. We'll be able to watch both battles again. Go ahead and get this one focused over on Ryan Yee. 39 seconds until we start race 2 here at Imola for Delta Racing League. Again, the first league was quite a spicy one. Saw a lot of the mixed class action that we were hoping for. As was pointed out by the chat, Imola is a notoriously difficult track to pass on. because a lot of it is mid-speed sweeping corners. Really does present a challenge for the drivers. Let's get that data back over to the racing gaps. 30 minutes in the second race. Drivers are going to do it again. And they are going to start their parade lap in just a couple of seconds, folks. And we'll get, there's that camera. And we should be able to keep everybody on camera if we do a little of this action. And that's going to be focused on Ryan Yee. He's going to be first place starter in the TCX class. Let's get this sorted over here. There we go. Just making sure I can still read chat. There we go. But we are getting close here, folks. The race will start as soon as these drivers make it around the track. We can see everybody taking a slightly different tactic to trying to warm your tires. I am a fan of riding my brakes. I've heard that others would rather do riding your brakes and swerving, but riding your brakes and swerving is how I spin the car. So stop doing that one. But whatever you got to do to get the tires warm, we're going to be starting this race here any second. In just a moment, we'll be seeing these cars lining up double file. But Tony Giordano in the Aston Martin, we will be keeping an eye on his performance all this race. Because he's got something to prove now. He's got a first place finish. It's in the sights, in the crosshairs. He's going to make it happen. Even if it says, why does it say Pete Ruotsalainen's in first? That's weird. The rest of it's fine, so I'm just going to assume that's ACC doing ACC things. They are coming around the chicane now at the front of the pack. We should see them lining up double file here pretty soon. This is very interesting. It actually has even got his car position tag in P2. Not sure what's going on here, folks, but he is definitely supposed to be starting this race. This over to that camera there. Beautiful shot of the sunset. We'll actually get it from both cameras here as they pan around. But we are about to start this race, folks. And now just the final opportunity for these drivers to look at who is around them while they are double file. It'll be single file here pretty soon, but we are about to start race 2 here at Imola for Delta Racing League. And it has been a blast of a stream so far. Let's see what the drivers have in store for us now as we get ready to start race 2 here at Imola. And there is the green light, and we've already got massive grid penalties being, or drive-through penalties being handed out. And I'm not entirely sure who all got them there. What is... Well, nonetheless, we've got already some action happening in turn 1. We've got one of the McLarens from last race spun around. Tony Giordano making away with it. Who was that got spun around? My cameras are not responding now. So that's fun. There we go. We got it back under control. Got a good eye at the pack. I almost don't know what to try and talk about because there are so many cars trying to get through these corners. Almost 3 wide there with Dustin Fletcher. Andre Alfonso and one of the McLarens of the WRT racing team make contact. And I don't know what to do. There's so much going on everywhere. Tony Giordano still up in the front of the pack. BMW's in the back, keeping things relatively tame compared to their GT3 counterparts now. As we can see, Sam Snelltrain and Ryan Yee still fighting it out. Let's go ahead. We're going to get it over on position or position delta here, just so we can get a good idea of who's done what so far. Wish there was a way to see who got the pit stops here, but when I'm running this stream setup, doesn't exactly work. We see the BMWs getting very close to one another. But so are the GT3s. The BMW of Aaron Alexander trying to chase down Nathan Tanner in the Ferrari out front. The BMW is still keeping things very, very close to one another. We see McLaren weaving in and out of them and making a little bit of contact coming into the chicane. A lot of contact. As we can see, that's going to be the number 7 car of Ryan Yee gets spun around, and the game crashed. So let's go ahead and put that away, and we're just going to focus on the one that's working consistently. So much action, the game literally could not handle it, folks. And that is going to be one lap done here at Imola. Pete Ruotsalainen is going to hang on to the fastest lap of the session with a 52.9. We'll see what Tony Giordano is going to do to answer that. Sorry, folks. I was trying to catch my bearings there with the other computer crashing on me. Tony Giordano doing a good job of trying to keep up with Pete Ruotsalainen. A 1 second gap between them. We'll see if that gets larger or shrinks down. Let's go ahead and get this back over to race gaps. There we go. But there's way more going on in the middle of the pack. I can't in good conscience keep Tony up there. We've got several battles evolving here. So Steve Poe is going to be defending off this battle for 6th, which has got Edgardo Donoso and Dustin Fletcher right behind one another, behind him. And not very far behind is Andre Alfonso is still in the mix, trying to find his way around this McLaren in front of him. In fact, I almost feel like we got to put it up on the helicam just so we can get an idea of just how many cars are this close to one another on the pack or on the track. The Ferrari runs a little bit wide, is going to let the McLaren behind him catch up to him. Another fastest lap out of Pete Ruotsalainen. See, Timothy here is trying to track down Dustin Fletcher out in front of him. Let's go ahead and put it back on the TV camera, get those moody shots of the sunlight. Oh, and that's going to be very close between Timothy, oh man, Jay, I'm sorry. Tell me how to say your name later. One drive-through remaining for car number 47. Who is car number 47? I'm looking. That's going to be Matthias Martinez. Looks like Mike Featherston is in, serving a pit stop. Who else is going to be serving those pits? I don't see anybody else in there yet. Actually, no, one has already. It's going to be Adam Skuka in the 438 car. Mike Featherston in there right now. And then Matthias Martinez has one lap to serve a drive-through as well for must have been grid violations at the start of the race. And just up ahead of this battle that we're watching, that battle for 6th has now gotten it. I believe that is 6 cars long coming into the chicane here. Very, very close between all of these cars. The drivers now on their second race, 5 laps in, or 5 minutes in already, excuse me, 2 laps in. Man, look at how close they are, just whipping around that corner. And we actually see a pass by Andre Alfonso on the outside, or maybe he is defending the pass from the McLaren. No, that was a pass by Andre Alfonso now into the final corner. McLaren has the inside line. The BMW has the faster outside line, though, and he's able to make the pass happen on the outside. McLaren has to filter in behind him to go single file around the straight. That was an excellent pass there from Andre Alfonso. And we'll see what the McLaren has to say about it coming into T1. Still very close with the drafts coming down the straight. But that gap actually has grown quite a bit. The Bentley's got some legs, folks. McLaren doesn't have any room to try and pass. He's going to have to follow him coming around the corner. And Dustin Fletcher just out in front of us, chasing down Timothy in the McLaren there. Number 531 McLaren for TJ Racing. Edgardo Donoso just out in front of them in the McLaren. Currently 2 positions up in P7, starting P9. Got his eyes set on P6, Stephen Poe in the crosshairs now. Number 47 is going to go ahead and clear their drive-through. I believe that is everybody now. I'm going to see if I can't get that other computer up and working now that it's gone and fatal errored on me. Just rude. Oren Fleischhacker under pressure. Audi fending off a pass from Juan Paredo in the WRT McLaren. Now right behind him coming into the chicane. Oren Fleischhacker doing a good job, puts himself right in the middle of the racing line. Nowhere for the McLaren to get around him. Does an excellent job of using every inch of the track. Oren Fleischhacker now down into the final 2 corners. That is going to be Alex Ishii and the Ferrari behind them, trying to chase them down. New fastest lap out of Tony Giordano. 2.3 seconds to the first place Pete Ruotsalainen, but does have his lap time by just a hair over a 1/10 of a second. Oren Fleischhacker still under fire from that McLaren behind him. It is going to be close here into turn 1. McLaren looking at the inside. I think he's going to try for it. Nope. Looked like it for a second. I'm sure the Audi thought so too. But the Audi does get a good exit. McLaren definitely has the better one though. Let's see how much closer he is going to be able to make that gap coming into this next corner. Audi's still doing an excellent job of defending on the brakes. Now we're starting to see the BMWs in the mix. And things are going to start getting interesting here, folks. Let's take a look at Steve Poe. Under fire right now. Edgardo Donoso does make the pass happen on Steve Poe, now moving him into P7. And now the TJ Racing McLaren wants a piece of him. Dustin Fleischhacker, Dustin Fletcher right behind him is going to try and make a pass on the inside. Rough exit in Aqua Minerale for the McLaren is going to allow the Lamborghini to get alongside him and potentially have a shot at breaking him in the chicane. Thinks better of it. They're going to go through in the same order they entered it in. Lamborghini almost has a shot at it there. But the McLaren is going to hang on to P8 for another couple of turns here. Dustin Fletcher getting very close, but with Andre Alfonso and the Bentley getting close now, wanting to enter this battle for 4th place. Or excuse me, 6th place. See Steve Poe and that McLaren getting very close going into turn 1, but nothing too exciting happening there. As the TJ Racing McLaren's off the track, allows Steve Poe to get around, and he is going to spin it into the wall, unable to get the power back down safely. And that is going to be a big hit for the TJ Racing McLaren, and that is going to be hurting the aero of that car, and McLaren really cannot afford to have understeer. And with it being a 30-minute race, that is going to be a problem for the TJ Racing McLaren. We'll see if they're able to get it sorted out. Dustin Fletcher now trying to get a piece of Steve Poe. We've also got some very close racing in the M2s as well, and I am trying to get them back on stream for us right now, folks. Ooh, Steve Poe getting a little bit loose there. Lamborghini not able to capitalize on it. We can see it is getting darker out there as we can see the headlights from that Lamborghini now on the racetrack. You know what, we're going to take a look at it between Ross Sparrow and Ben Burchett here. They're getting very close to one another, and that is Nicolas Sosa right behind him, battling it out for position. I'm going to keep them on screen for a little bit. And we've got a yellow flag from the 410 car, it looks like. Has to be Andrew Sear. Let's take a look over at his car. It looks like it got spun around. A little bit of damage to the front of that Porsche. Doesn't look too bad, though. Where was I trying to go? We're trying to get back to Ben Burchett and these gentlemen here. Ross Sparrow under pressure from Nicholas Sosa. Well, they may have a chance to get Ben Burchett here. Not a great exit for the other BMW driver. We'll see what happens on the brakes. He's got the outside line. Nothing he can do but watch this happen. Maybe answer to the exit of the chicane as we watch the BMW of Ross Sparrow go very wide. And now getting into a little bit of a tangle with Nicholas Sosa there, Brian Burchett is. Now the Aston Martin of Tony Giordano trying to get around him. These BMWs could not be in a worse place for Tony Giordano right now. Going 3 wide into the second to last corner, giving him no room to try and escape. And oh my goodness, one of them gets spun around over, or just got a little lead-footed with the right pedal, I'm sure. Tony Giordano released to try and chase down Pete Ruotsalainen, but not after losing a significant amount of time trying to get around that slower traffic. Very, very unfortunate for Tony Giordano again, but he is still chasing down first place here. It's about a second and a lap. Or, oh, no, excuse me. I read that very, very, very wrong. Don't listen to a word I'm saying, folks. Everything I say is wrong. Always, all the time. Juan Paredo getting passed by the Bentley of Andre Alfonso there. We'll see what it turns into on turn 1. Those two still pretty close to each other, almost wheel to wheel. McLaren does get out in front in the straight line. Is the Bentley going to try it? He is not. It's going to be Andrew Sear in the Porsche right in front of him. Okay. Dustin Fletcher doing a good job of keeping the pressure on Steve Poe. Currently just 0.2 of a second separating the two of them. Very, very close between these two drivers. And I think I have this fixed enough to chance it. Let's take a look at Dustin Fletcher's onboard here. There we go. Going to be on board with Dustin Fletcher there. Let's go ahead and give you the cabin audio of his car there coming into the chicane. Bumping up to the rear end of that BMW. Does get around him pretty much without too much harm. That's Nicholas Eve. That was, oh man, his last name. I'm sorry. I'm trying, folks. Nicholas Sosa. Excuse me, folks. Dustin Fletcher going to make the pass on the BMW here on the straight. Ryan Yee, he's getting around there. We can see the McLaren getting very, very close on the outside there, not being able to get a very good exit for the Lamborghini. So we're on another camera there. That's the same camera. How about this camera? Oh, and there's contact. There's massive contact between the Lamborghini and I believe a BMW, and he's going to, unable to get the car stopped and just is collecting another car in the first turn. Let's go ahead and let's get this somewhere else. Dustin Fletcher, unfortunate accident there. It's going to cost him many positions. There we go. We've got Steve Poe on the cameras now. Makes it out of that pretty much scot-free.
We are at the halfway mark.
And there is the halfway mark already in this race too. It seems like it's come way too early, but it certainly is not. A lot of close racing going on in the back of the field as well. Andrew Sear in the focus, making his way around that BMW, trying to chase down Juan Paredo. Let's see, find another close battle for position. Actually, very close passing going on between Andrew Sear and is that Alex Ishii? Yes, it is. Oh, and Alex Ishii gets pushed by the Bentley behind. That's going to be Andre Alfonso. Gives him a little bit of a nudge and spins him around in the chicane. We're doubling up cameras a lot here, folks. Trying to. Let's get Nicholas Sosa there on the cameras over In the M2s, racing it out, that is going to be Ross Sparrow right behind him, I believe. It is. That's Javier Marquez coming around him right now. Andrew Sear kind of just left to race his own race at this point. Let's get over the cameras on Sam Seltrain. We watch a McLaren runs a little wide there. I think he's trying to swerve to get around Steve Poe and the Porsche right in front of him. Not able to make it happen, takes the runoff. He's going to slot out in front of the two teammates, Jeff Spangler and Sam Snelltrain, still battling it out, trying to decide who's going to finish first in class. Not a lot going on in the GT3 class, but we'll go ahead and take a look at Tony Giordano. Currently kind of on his own on the track right now, but is pacing faster than P1 and has closed down a gap of almost 4 seconds down to 3.3 is what I'm seeing at the time of that announcement. You actually see some passes happening over there on the sign. Glenn Pinino picks up a position on Matias Martinez. Or is it Matthias? If I've been saying it wrong the whole time, man, you're gonna have to let me know after the race. Matter of fact, let's go ahead. We're gonna throw on the onboard there with Tony Giordano. Something to look at. He's getting ready to pass some BMWs, get a little passing action, and actually that's an interesting shot because we can see that is Pete. God. I have to look at it. Ruotsalainen. Pete Ruotsalainen out in front of him now. He sees his target. He's putting him in the crosshairs. There's only a matter of time until this man catches him. Two teammates, Sam Snelltrain and Jeff Spangler still battling it out. Running out of steam here, folks. Bear with me here. Nicholas Sosa and Ross Sparrow also very, very close in contention. Those are R4 position, folks. Let's see, in the GT3s, looks like Nathan Tanner and Edgardo Donoso starting to get close to one another. Nathan Tanner doing an excellent job this race again, racing a 24-hour race earlier today, currently sitting P3 after starting down in P12, it looks like. That is correct. Absolute monster of a drive for him. We'll see if he's able to hang on to it. 11 minutes left. Overcooks it on the exit of the chicane. Definitely picking up a track warning there. And we can see Tony Giordano getting ready to catch up and passing a BMW there on the outside now. His sights set on Pete Ruotsalainen. We're going to see him catch here very, very soon. Steve Poe and Timothy from the TJR Racing McLaren, which I'm pretty sure suffered a pretty big, if I'm not mistaken, did get spun around or at least sustained some damage, still fighting it out up into P6. Only down a position this race. Let's go ahead and open things back up a little bit. Oh, caught a yellow flag there. That's going to be Jonathan Salinas spun around. Oh, and collects. That was Javier Marquez. Just bad timing on the apex. Looks like Javier Marquez fairly unbothered by that. McLaren does not look unbothered by that. I take back what I said. He is definitely going to be feeling that one. Unfortunate racing incident from what we could see. Oh man, that BMW just getting bullied off of the track there to allow the Big Brother M4 through there. Rough exit for the McLaren we've got in focus. That's going to be the TJ Racing McLaren. Still able to get enough grunt down to not let that M4 behind him pass. Just I'm saying that Dustin Fletcher gains a position, moving himself up into P11. Going to have to chase down Javier Marquez for a P10 finish. And actually, the race between Pete Ruotsalainen and Tony Giordano is getting very close here. We actually just missed a little bit of a switcheroo between the two of them. And so we'll definitely be watching this now. Because this is the battle. This is the battle of race 2 that we're about to watch. This is the main event. The feature championship of this race is going to be between Pete Ruotsalainen and Tony Giordano here with less than 10 minutes left in race 2 at Imola. 12 laps in, 8 minutes to go, and they're coming up onto some traffic in Aqua Minerale. It looks like Pete is going to be able to squeeze through fairly effortlessly now. The Aston Martin of Tony Giordano is going to get wedged in between the two of them. Let me get him up on the other screen so we can make sure that we have eyes on this battle from every angle we can get it from. Let's go ahead and, oh, there we go. I had it up and I closed it. There we go. And these two not leaving anything spare. They are pushing as hard as they can. Their lap times are reflecting that, but they are both slowing down. That said, Tony Giordano slowing down less than Pete Ruotsalainen, setting a lap time a second and 3/10 faster. Last lap, we'll see what happens coming around the final corner, see what those lap times look like. Try and get an idea of just how close these two are. Pete Ruotsalainen is going to cross the line with, it's going to be a 1:44.5. That's going to be a 1:45.0 from Tony Giordano. Got another close battle here. Aaron Alexander trying to get around Timothy. I think that's Jabudal. Not sure. Let me know. Let me know how to say your last name, Timothy. Battle between, oh, right as I get over there on the picture-in-picture, Nathan Tanner and Edgardo Donoso getting close enough to touch coming around the S's. We'll see just how close they are at one another coming into the second S. And this is a battle for third. This is you know, the rights to earn a medal here at Imola. We've got actually the the top 4 all on camera right now. Tony Giordano getting very, very close. We can see just how hard he's pushing that Aston Martin down into Aqua Minerale. Pete Ruotsalainen getting an easy pass on the BMW on the entry. Tony Giordano getting an easy pass on the exit. I don't think anybody really lost any time there. Yellow flags waving for the 81 car of Jonathan Salinas. Take a look here, but there's just too much going on both of these battles now. Looks like Tony Giordano losing a little bit of time this lap. Let's see what the lap times are coming across the line here. We'll know it any second. It's a 1:43.5 and a 1:43.7 respectively. Pete Ruotsalainen snagging a 2/10 lead on Tony Giordano that last lap. Not a lot of time left for Tony Giordano for a first place finish, but we watch a mistake from Nathan Tanner runs him wide into the gravel. And that is going to net a position gain for Edgardo Donoso with just 5 minutes remaining. Nathan Tanner now has some work cut out for him for the first or third place finish. As we see Tony Giordano getting very, very close to Pete now. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead. We're gonna do a little onboard action here. We've been using this camera a lot today, but to be honest, it's because we've needed to. And let's go ahead and give you Tony's audio. Sound from inside the car. Very, very angry sounding. Aston Martin there. He's going to look up the inside, go for the pass. Not enough room to make it happen. Gets on the brakes. He's going to continue now down into Aqua Minerale. I'm looking around the course just for any other close battles. This looks to be the closest right now, folks. But I am watching for any other passes happening as we're coming down into the chicane. Excellent job of cutting those corners just enough. Aston Martin doing an excellent job of handling those. Go ahead and switch the audio back up over here, and let's go ahead and take a look at Pete Ruotsalainen, but we want not that one, but that one. Let's just keep an eye on that camera and see if we can't see how close Tony Giordano is going to get here. That Porsche wing using a lot of the camera space, but we'll see what happens here. they get close under braking, I might switch back over to the camera, but for right now, let's go ahead and just do that. It is going to be very close into turn 1. Tony Giordano looking up the outside there. Let's see if he has room to make it happen. The inside line very well defended by the Porsche. The Aston Martin almost has time to make it happen, but is not able to make the pass happen, getting very, very close wheel to wheel between those two cars. I think the game technically counted that as a pass for a moment. The second S is here. Again, Tony Giordano, nothing he can do to get around that Porsche there. It really is just coming down to Pete Routzline and needing to make a mistake in the next 3 minutes. Not to be forgotten, Nate Tanner doing a good job of trying to catch back up to Edgardo Donoso, closing the gap down now down to just a second. Nate Tanner having to take the wide line around that BMW on the outside now. Aqua Minerale getting a little bit crowded. The Aston Martin loses the back end a little bit, but got a bad exit for the Porsche, so he's able to cinch up next to him. And now it is going to be a drag race down into the chicane. Looks on the outside line, but there's a BMW there. There's no room for him to try to make the outside pass. Maybe get a better exit here for Tony Giordano coming around there. Both of them doing a good job of maintaining control of the car. Gonna get around that BMW, no problem. And now down to the final 2 corners, there's another BMW there. Aston Martin just trying to do anything he can to get around this Porsche, and there is no room to make it happen. We've got another yellow flag waving as we're watching this. Juan Paredo gains a position, moves up into 7th place over Aaron Alexander. Adam Skuka is the yellow flag, number 438 car. Oh, and we've got a drag race down into T1 again. The Aston Martin has the outside line, and I believe that is a pass, folks, that we just watched. The AMR is able to make the pass. That is going to be Tony Giordano, P1, Pete Routzline in P2. And now it is on, folks. That Porsche is going to be wanting to get that position back. He knows he doesn't have time to make it happen, though. 1 minute and 41 seconds, maybe only 2 laps left in this race. And we just watched the pass from Tony Giordano to move him up into P1. Wow, that was too much excitement for me. I was trying to figure out what was going on the other camera, and I just cannot. My eyes are glued. Pete Routzline runs it a little bit wide. But now it is just who makes another mistake. At this point, all Tony has to do is finish the race. And there's not much time left now, with just less than 1 minute, 57 seconds and ticking. Pete has got to get something happen. He's got to make a miracle happen here. But with these two drivers so close in pace, I don't think he's going to be able to make it happen. Down into the final 2 corners here. This will almost certainly begin the final lap of this race. And that is almost certainly, we're going to see the white flag waved when he crosses the start-finish line. Where is it? There we are. Leader is on the final lap. Tony Giordano in P1. Pete Routzline in P2 after a switcheroo there by Tony Giordano. Makes the pass on the outside, gets the exit, makes it happen now into T1 and 2. And it looks like Tony Giordano is starting to grow a little bit of a gap to the Porsche behind. Has he been holding him up this whole time, or they're just, maybe Pete has just pushed that Porsche to the point of killing the tires? And Tony's able to make it happen. Not sure. We'll certainly be asking those questions after the race. Now down into the hairpin everybody hates, and nothing but traffic out in front of them. My goodness, what a reveal by the cameraman there. Yeah, and they're gonna hit them with the blinkers. Everybody get out of the way. If you're watching or listening to the stream, get out of the way. Your race is not as important as this one, because this is a race that's not being settled just in race 2, but from race 1 performance. Tony Giordano leaving everything he's got on the track, weaving in between these BMWs, giving every single one of them the brake blinker, and there's a little bit of a tap there from the number 44 BMW, the Aston Martin, unbothered by it. Now up into the chicane, and this race is going to get interesting now. Slower traffic out in front of Tony Giordano. We're gonna get the onboard over here. That's not the onboard, that's the onboard, as he's now trying to get his way around, but oh, big mistake! There is a huge collision from the Porsche behind, spins the AMR around. He is going to let the Aston Martin get out in front of him, and a huge show of sportsmanship between these two drivers. And actually, that is a really touching moment between those two drivers. Pete absolutely could have just, said, hey, racing incident, tapped your rear end, but he is going to let the winner take his finish, and we're going to watch on board with Tony Giordano riding into the sunset as he is going to finish in P1 in race 2 here at Imola for a very well-deserved P1 finish. Tony Giordano, hats off, and there's the checkered flag for his P1 finish. I'm sure he's got to be happy with that. Pete Routsline, and definitely the gentleman of the night, Nathan Tanner, manages to get the pass on Ed. I think we just missed it there to get the P3 finish, but passes Edgardo Donoso there at the final hour and is going to cross the start-finish line in P3. Sure enough, that is exactly what happened. Edgardo Donoso is going to finish in P4, Steve Poe in P5, Timothy in P6, Juan Paredo in P7, Aaron Alexander in P8, Andrew Sear in P9, and Javier Marquez to finish out the top 10 in the first class. I've got hiccups. My goodness, Jeff Spangler in P1 for the TCX. His teammate Sam Snelltrain in P2, Ryan Yee P3, Ross Sparrow in P4, Nicholas Sosa in P5, Nicholas Armijo in P7, Ben Burchett P8, Rob Jacques P9, and Benjamin Celine to round out the P10 in class. But let's take another look at our winner in the pit lane, Tony Giordano, snagging the win. 2 laps left in the race, just enough to make it happen, but definitely earning that P1 finish in race 2. Should definitely be proud of himself. Big, hard-fought victory there for Tony Giordano. But that is going to do it for us here at Delta Racing League. We'll go ahead and put the camera on somebody finishing up their race because I don't have a stream-ending title card. Should probably do that. In fact, I'm going to do that after the race. But to everybody in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a blast. There's been technical issues from beginning to end. We got a game crashing. We got all sorts of crazy stuff happening, but that is the kind of excitement you get with live entertainment, folks. You never know what's going to happen. But to everybody watching at home, thank you very much for joining us at any point in this race. Join us again next week, same time we will be streaming. I think we're going to turn this into a regular gig because I really like streaming for Delta. Big field, lots of races to watch all over the grid. Something exciting everywhere. Big congratulations to all the drivers. Huge ups to Tony Giordano for snagging that race 2 P1 finish. But yeah. Anyway, happy Sunday night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope to catch you next week. My name is Matt McAdams, and it's been a great time. You all have a great night.